This is the KnightWolf. How at you? And I just got out of Masters of the Universe. This is my second time watching it, but this time I went with V, and we're going to discuss the movie a little bit. So if you haven't seen it yet, you can maybe decide if you want to see it or not. I actually like the movie. I mean, there are problems with it, but overall, it was a fun movie to watch.
Yeah, it was fun. I hated everything about the Earth stuff.
Yeah, so actually I think that's the part that and just like people's posts on like X and Instagram and stuff, that the Earth part suck.
It is awful.
Yeah. So although I will say this isn't really much of a spoiler alert type of thing, but there is a scene where, they record Adam as he's trying to get the sword. People have their phone out. Then later on, when Adam is going with Tila to the ship, there's people recording the ship and everything there, and Adam's like, gives his little quick
I told
funny
you
speech.
so.
Yeah, and people are recording it. And the one thing that is missing from this, the stinger that they should have had at the end of the film, was just showing the people who he worked with seeing that scene online, especially his irritating ass boss Susie. She
had a name.
Yeah, she had a name. She was Susie. I couldn't stand his boss. Like, they don't want you to like her. The truth is, like, looking at his whole HR thing, like, we were all worried with the he-him on there and the stuff, and that it was going to be all woke and shit. And there is some of that in here, but I feel like they were making fun of that kind of shit more than anything else, especially with his boss.
Yeah, they were totally making fun of it. And, like, I've had bosses that were like that, and they are super annoying. And, like, for that I'd say they did a good job of making her very realistic, but that's one of the things I really didn't like, is that, like, they tried too hard to do the, like, Gen Z, late millennial, it's lol, so relatable cringe humor, and it went too far. So, like, the entire stuff on Earth was just a massive load of secondhand embarrassment that I could not watch. Like, I was slouched down in the seat going, this is so stupid, the whole time they were on Earth.
Although, I have to say, I did really appreciate head of HR being like, I don't do conflict well.
Yeah, I'm like, I think if the humor kind of conflicted when it tried to do that sort of stuff with the rest of the movie. So, like, it could have been funny if this was a different movie.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because it's not like I didn't laugh at anything.
Oh, yeah,
some of it was, yeah. There was times where it was funny, but it's like, this wasn't the movie for it.
Alright, so before we get too deep into, like, actual real spoiler territory here, so do you have any regrets seeing this movie, or?
Regrets? No. For the most part, like, once they got off Earth, I actually really enjoyed it.
Okay. Yeah, and like I said, I enjoyed the movie overall. I looked on Amazon because they already announced that the physical media for it is on pre-order already. Yeah. And, they have the DVD, the Blu-ray, the 4K. Now, I was going to go for the 4K because usually when you buy 4K, they also include a Blu-ray, so I have both discs, so I got one I can throw in my PlayStation, one I can throw in my regular Blu-ray player. They don't do that. Oh. You order the 4K, you're getting just the 4K. I did not see any listings for special features. The time seems to be just the movie. I'm like, what is the point of putting this out if you're not going to put the special? Because I want to see.
Blooper reels would be hilarious with this one.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they would have been great, especially when we see some of this. Like, I've seen some of the stuff that they've talked about happening behind the scenes, like Jared Leto throwing fake blood all over his face before we'd go out to try to help scare people. Which is funny because I saw a comment on one of the posts saying, "Oh, that's not going to scare anybody." And apparently, was it Allison Brie? I think they said, who actually got freaked out when she first saw it. At least somebody did.
I mean, yeah, you're not expecting it, and you think somebody's actually hurt, you're going to freak out.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's kind of a shame that Amazon doesn't seem to want to put the bloopers and behind-the-scenes stuff on their physical media, because Amazon probably just wants to license you their movie so that they can take it away from you whenever they want. And you can't do that when people have Blu-rays and DVDs. Or fortunately, I mean, not only.
Well, unfortunately for the company.
Yeah. But now, we're going to probably jump into some spoiler territory here and actually talk about shit that happened in the movie. One thing being, I know when we talked about the preview, you had mentioned you didn't like Cringer's coloring. Is it better in the movie?
Much better in the movie. In the trailer, it looked really washed out, and he just looked like he was covered in moss. In this, he actually looks like a green tiger.
One thing that annoyed me watching this, okay, so it's part of the Earth thing, but there's a point where Beastman has Tila down on the ground. He is 100% in control of the moment. He could kill her right then, no problem. And then he sits up and starts beating his chest, giving Tila a chance to attack. I'm like, I know Beastman is supposed to be one of the dumb henchmen, but how are you that fucking stupid.
Okay, I counted at least 3 times when the sword was out of his hand on the ground and he was surrounded by enemy troops and not a single one of them went for the damn sword. He was there for a while.
The one time somebody did go for the sword, though, he got the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah. But I'm like, you can take it. One of you guys could take it. You're just going to stand in a semicircle and twiddle your thumbs. Okay.
Okay, I know they had at least one character from the original movie in here. That was the guy who got stabbed against the wall.
Okay.
Also the guy who actually went for the sword and got his ass kicked.
Yeah.
I think I saw another character from the movie Blade, but he did almost nothing. I think it was called Blade back. Because he had, I saw one guy with, the little circular eye patch thing that's like a sensor or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Briefly, I think it was Man-at-Arms kicked his ass before Trapjaw came out of the movie.
Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah. There was one point, I couldn't find, when I saw it with my sister, there was one point where I could have sworn one of the things on the wall, there was a stuffed yellow gorilla.
Yeah, there was a stuffed monster gorilla thing.
Okay, so you saw, I was trying to look for it and I missed it. I must have blinked. Because I think that's supposed to be Cygor, which is another character. Yeah. It was something that wasn't produced originally, but I think was made in classics.
Yeah, that was actually something I was going to ask you about, because they're going through, I think, Skeletor's lair.
Yeah.
And they pass around a wall, and there is a stuffed thing hanging there, and I'm like, that seemed really specific, and I was going to ask you if that was something.
I was trying to keep an eye out for it, and I missed it.
Yeah.
Then let's talk about, you asked me about a specific character at the end of the movie that shows up, and that was Dion, the female guard, who apparently is a bully, and I'm wondering if the actress who played her is related to or dating Travis Knight, and that's how she got in there. Because she got a lot of camera time for an unnamed character. I was expecting them to call her Andra or something, just to use a character that was already existing. But I don't remember there being a Dion in Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, I'm like, they kept putting her at the forefront on occasion, and I was like, is she supposed to be somebody? Because I couldn't remember a character named Diane or Dion or whatever that was they called her. But she was always being shoved into things.
Yeah, and let's be honest,
which is funny. She's the one who shoved the locks.
She's a bully. She's the kind of person who becomes a police officer so that she can beat people up and get away with it.
Yeah.
That's my opinion of that character.
Yeah, she kind of felt unnecessary.
She definitely got more camera time for action than I would say Fisto and Ram Man got.
Yeah, maybe, because she was put into a lot of things, but they made sure you saw her.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that would probably be the one thing that I'm like, this feels like a diversity hire.
Yeah. They didn't entirely do the girl boss thing with Teela.
No, they didn't. I actually kind of liked her.
Yeah.
Her story arc and the way they character.
Yeah, and you can definitely see the anger she has, because she's angry at Man-at-Arms because apparently he's been a drunkard for the last few years, to the point where even Roboto calls him drunken.
Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah, because fails to save everybody and the kingdom falls to ruin.
Yeah, so he's got a reason to be upset, but probably could have done better.
Yeah.
There are times when it gets a little too much with her, but I feel like they tried to put all the girl ball stuff.
Yeah.
So
well, the thing, they put all the annoying qualities that make a girl boss hateable into Dion.
There you go. Oh, yeah.
And I think that's like a strong female character who is physically capable in and of itself is not a bad thing. It's just they usually make them super bitchy too for no reason. I'm like, I feel like when Teela was getting a little snappy, because she didn't come off as bitchy, she just came off as snappy. But she had a perfectly valid reasons to be snappy in those moments.
So there's a scene in here. It's right after Adam lifts up part of the ship. They have this moment between Teela and Adam that's playing on the romance aspects. And I think part of it is because I believe Nicholas Galantine, I think is what his full name is, or Galzatine or something like that. We'll call him Nicky. I think he came from a lot of I believe Hallmark movies prior to this, is what they said, and did a lot of romance stuff.
Okay.
So I kind of think part of that was they wanted to kind of play with that aspect a little bit since that's what it's known for.
Yeah.
But it did feel like there was a moment where Teela kind of panicked at the idea of a romantic moment and got away. Not so much that, because she does that pet thing and friends, we're friends.
Yeah, she does this is getting too emotionally insecure for me, I need to run away thing.
Yeah.
I actually thought that was okay. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, I didn't mind that at all. Like, because I think they do show that there's a possibility if they do continue this that they will develop a relationship like most people expect.
Yeah.
Even Filmation had a plan for that if they'd gotten to do their second He-Man series they wanted to do back in the 80s. But this is what I was going to talk about, like the ship. And all their characters have no name, really. Tila, Duncan, you know, they don't actually name any of the characters. It's Adam who has come up with the names for them. So he calls, you know, Fisto, and everybody's laughing at him because that's the name that 10-year-old Adam thought of him as.
Yeah. And they keep making sex jokes.
Yeah, well, that's fine. It's adults. They're definitely playing more towards the audience who grew up with it rather than the new audience. But
I guess kind of one of those things where it just was like that cringy humor that was like a little too far.
They overplayed the fisting.
They overplayed the name thing in general.
But like her ship is obviously the Talon Fighter, but she only called it ship.
Yeah.
And the Talon Fighter in this case, if you remember the 2024 animated series, that was the CGI one. I think it was 2004, where there was like Power Rangers Masters of the Universe, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the Talon Fighter that they had in there is what it looks like it was based.
Yeah.
So it's a Talon Fighter, but she only called it ship. All the characters actually have names. Some names were given, I think, back in the 80s. Others were given with the 2002 series. And then they came up with names when they did the classics.
Yeah.
So, like, Ram Man had the name Crash. Or Crass, I should say.
Yeah, because didn't they use that in the CGI Netflix series?
They used that name there for sure. I can't remember. I think that was actually made up, but that name... And a lot of the names that they've given the characters since then came up with when Scott Nitlick had been in charge of Masters Classics, and they would do little bio cards. So they gave everybody a real name, and then that's like the code name, which makes a lot more sense, right?
Yeah.
I also feel like maybe the director was not a big fan of Mechanic because it felt like Mechanic was more of a joke.
Yeah, maybe. He wasn't in there that much, honestly. He was mostly just there for the fight scenes.
Yeah.
And the fight scenes, I'm going to say, they did a really good job with fight scenes. I enjoyed all of them.
Yeah, although the last fight with Skeletor after He-Man's little speech.
Yeah.
The HR speech.
Yeah.
It made me think of Street Fighter more than anything else.
Yeah.
Like watching him punching Skeletor then. That was like very Street Fighter in opinion.
Like there should have been a KO
Yeah.
pop-up.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed the last half of the movie. The first half really needed some work. It toned down a lot of the cringy humor, and I don't really like how they handled Adam as Adam. Like, there's naive and innocent, and then there's, boy, you just dumb. Like, why the hell are you telling people that you're an adult who has lived on Earth long enough that you should have learned through the beatings you would have gotten as a child not to bring up your, like, weird backstory? Because nobody's going to listen to you, nobody's going to buy it, nobody's going to take you seriously. That should be something that, like, I think if they show him having drawn all these people. I think it would have been fun if he had been trying to be a comic artist.
That is one of the things that I thought too. I'm like, I am honest to God surprised that they did not, like, why is he working in HR when he's that good of an artist?
Yeah. I mean, they could have had him being like, HR is my primary job to pay the bills, but I'm trying to get the story, and it's, you know, all Eternia because it's his backstory and he wants to get it out there as a comic, and it's just show him being like a struggling comic, and like maybe have him being somewhat capable as, because they do actually show him as Adam being capable in a fight to at least avoid being clobbered.
Yeah.
You could have lent into that, where it's like, because they do this one thing, they just have him say this line that I really liked, where he's all like, I know how to use the power, I just don't like to. And I think that should have been the whole character to begin with. He should have been somewhat more capable than they portrayed him. Not like super capable, he didn't need to be He-Man as Adam, but like just have him be like, I don't like to fight.
Actually, this brings up another thought of mine that I had when I was watching this the first time, and again here. So Adam lands on Earth. He goes to school. We saw those scenes. We do see him as an adult going into the gym and asking advice from Dolph Lundgren. But here's the thing: he's trying to get back to Eternia. He knows there was a massive battle going on when he left, and he's been given the sword to take care of it. Maybe he wasn't sure he would end up being the champion. Yeah. Although that is the story that goes around with the sword. Why was he not taking any kind of fighting classes or doing more bodybuilding then?
Yeah.
Like, I obviously the reason why they have him wearing the long sleeves and the long pants all the time is because they weren't going to do the whole thing where they record him slimmer like I believe he was before, because I think he had to build up to look like He-Man.
Yeah.
But they didn't do we'll record the Adam parts first, then have him.
Yeah. And I can kind of understand that it takes time to build that much muscle.
Yeah. So there is that issue I had, but you would think you would have taken like maybe some martial arts classes, boxing classes, sword fighting classes.
Well, remember Captain America? He got ripped for the part, and then they digitally altered his body to make him scrawny in the one scenes. I don't know why they couldn't have done that to like slightly slim him down a little.
That's true. Also, I just want to say pretty much all the special effects here, the CGI stuff, is better than anything from Marvel.
Oh yeah.
That's
with
terrifying. Oh, this is a complaint I have. Castle Grayskull is just a bridge away from the Palace of Eternos. Like, I get this is a whole different universe, and that the Eternos city and palace and everything is supposed to be protecting Grayskull. But if that was the case, then that'd also be around Grayskull and not just in front of it.
Yeah.
Because as we saw, you can attack from behind. And also, I'm going to throw up a picture. I don't know what I'm going to be doing for this, but I just wanted to point out that I bought one of the cups with the Castle Grayskull and the topper on it. And the backside of that design is so stupid. I was trying to see if it's like that in the movie, and I could not get a good look at the backside of the castle.
Yeah.
Did you?
No, I was looking too.
And it was just, it's so stupid looking.
Yeah. From the back, like the back where it has no protection, you put a giant staircase on it.
Yeah, so there's that problem.
Yeah.
But overall with this,
Yeah, once they got on Eternia, once he turned into He-Man for the first time, the movie really got good.
I really like Trapjaw. Like, he is not a favorite character of mine by a long shot in anything else.
Phenomenal job with him.
But he was the best villain. And more surprising, Jared Leto was excellent as Skeletor.
Yeah.
As we were leaving, or as the credits were ending, a couple of guys behind us, and I'd say there's about 20 people in the theater other than us. You heard him say, we're like, first time Jared Leto didn't ruin the movie.
Yeah.
So, of course, there is the teaser for She-Ra. I've already gotten into arguments online with people, slightly. Well, I made a comment because the way they portray She-Ra here, it looks like they might do that without having the main connection to He-Man for her to get the sword and become She-Ra.
Yeah, maybe.
And that didn't work out well when they did the Princess of Power animation.
I didn't watch the Netflix.
Yeah, I did.
I refused.
But I would really appreciate it if they do a She-Ra one. The teaser's fine if that's just going to be a teaser for this and not an actual scene in the thing. But if we're going to do this, please let's do it right and do something similar to The Secret of the Sword.
Yeah.
I guess Adam goes to find his sister when they find the connection.
I mean, they've opened it up so that you can tunnel your way to other worlds, so I don't see why they couldn't do that.
Yeah, there should be no reason that He-Man can't go over to Etheria and find She-Ra and do that story. Especially since, I know the rights are all owned by like Universal, like according to Scott Knightley for the IP. But if we're already doing the movie and they already got She-Ra in there, then there should be no problem with them having He-Man in a She-Ra and actually do a proper live-action version-ish of Secret of the Sword.
Like, my concern about that sort of thing is that what they're going to do is they're not going to do that. They're not going to they're going to do the She-Ra movie, and then he's going to pop up at the end of Stinger.
Yeah, that would issue. Because here's the problem I have. There is no reason for Adora to quit being part of the Horde without Adam and He-Man. That was part of the problems with the Princesses of Power. Is there's some bullshit part of the elders and all this other crap or whatever.
One of the massive many issues.
I feel like you can't do the She-Ra story. Like, it's already hard enough to have Adora become a, quote, good guy, just from the fact that she's been raised as part of the Horde.
Yeah.
Without having something a little bit more prominent than, just, I found this sword, I'm going to be a good guy now, which is more or less what happened with the other.
Yeah, well, it's like in the original version of it, like the original cartoon, the whole thing was she didn't realize. They raised her in that environment. The bad guys raised her in that environment, so she didn't actually realize she was a bad guy.
Yeah.
Until Adam showed up and showed her that she was a bad guy. And that's what, made her realize it, because, but they still had her inner nature, her actual nature, be very kind.
Yeah, which is also kind of a problematic, really, when you get right down to it, because how did she raise so high in this, too?
Well, nepotism.
Oh, there you go.
She was being raised as, basically the adopted daughter of the big head honcho bad guy, and is not really girlfriend. Nepotism.
Yeah. And then, of course, we did get to see Orko at the very end doing a PSA.
That was cute. That was funny.
It was a dumb PSA, though.
It was stupid, but it was cute.
And he was 100% wrong.
Yeah.
Like, when you get right down to it, he's like, muscles don't make the man. No, I think the movie kind of showed that muscles did make the man in this case.
Yeah, 100% did. That is the muscles that won.
Yeah.
He tried to talk, it didn't work, and I that's something I actually really appreciated about the movie. They tried to do the power of friendship bit, and Skeletor's like, I'm a villain, you.
And then when Skeletor's getting his ass kicked, I think he's like, I'm ready to talk now. Too late. Boom!
Yeah. Like,
Oh.
yeah, no, you had your chance.
They had a reference to Thunder Punch He-Man in this, too, during that fight scene.
Oh, was that with the
The
glowing fist?
Yeah, because that's how they've represented the Thunder Punch He-Man since classics.
Yeah.
So that was a nice one for me. The Rotons were really awesome vehicles in here, but as far as I can tell, the toys kind of, and it's a core class toy, it's for the cheaper figures, but the toy kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Because like we saw the Roton flying horizontally, right, and the blades are spinning and stuff.
Yeah.
Now I've not actually taken a toy out of the package yet because I haven't bought it and I don't really plan on buying it. But the way the toy seems to be designed is that you hold it vertically, spin the thing, and the blades do spin, but everything's vertical instead of horizontal.
Oh.
So the movie shows it more like the original toy, a badass version of the original toy. And the new toy that's supposed to represent the movie version sucked.
Oh, that's too bad.
I'll have to double check that because I'm just sure we're going to stop at a couple stores after this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I need to get.
For sure. So, is there anything else you want to say about the movie?
Another Adam issue I had was like, this is the prince of your kingdom? Why are you all treating him like shit when he's like 5?
Oh yeah, because when they're in the training grounds, he looks like he's at least 2 to 3 years younger than everybody else, if not 5 years younger.
He looks like he's maybe about 7. They say he's 10, but he looked more like 7, and everybody else looked like they were 12 to 15. And they're like beating the crap out of him and being like, "Oh, you're so weak." Yeah, you're older than him, significantly older than him. The fact that he held his own against his father with a real sword for the like 5 seconds he did is fucking amazing. You should be giving him props. They do a whole father-son thing, but they didn't build up to it because they wanted to spend too much time on Earth. I'm like, having him build up what the dynamic was between the father and him would have made the impact later on in the movie when they reunite more meaningful.
Yeah, and actually that was so cliche too what they did at the end.
That was totally cliche. Spoiler.
We're in the spoiler territory.
They kill Randor, and they
Adam kills Randor on accident.
Yeah, well, he hits a wall and it causes a cave-in.
Yeah, because when he breaks out of Evelyn's spell,
the
blast of energy goes flying and then knocks down everything on Randor.
Yeah, Skeletor runs away real quick, and Randor's old and feeble and crushes him. And they have like this touching moment, but there was no basis for the touching moment because they never actually. The one interaction we see with them when he's a kid with his father, the father's just like, "Oh, you're weak. Let me show how weak you are in front of all of your older than you peers by beating you down with a real sword and then walking away all angry." There was nothing to go off to lead up to the whole, "Oh, I was just trying to make you strong so you could be safe."
Yeah.
And like, I'm sorry, but the Prince of your Kingdom should probably be getting like personal tutelage. And I think it would have been nice, it would have been cute if they had him actually interacting positively with all of the fighter characters. And like the names he gave them could have been the nicknames he gave them as a child and they loved. And I think that would have been cute. Instead, they wanted to play this whole, "That's not my name, why are you calling me that?" joke that wasn't funny.
Yeah, and at our first time we see Dion, the only female guard.
Well,
I've been wanting a female royal guard for a long time, and now we get this. Yeah, she's shoving him as a kid, too.
Yeah, she's beating up on somebody who's much younger than her. And is the prince of her country.
Yeah,
world, as it is. And I'm like, it just, they don't, a lot of problem I have with writing male characters is I think people nowadays don't know how to write a masculine character that isn't intimidating. And so they emasculate them in order to make them less intimidating to the writer herself or himself. And it's really frustrating.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Also, something I just thought of while you were talking is Snake Mountain.
Yeah.
Snake Mountain looked really cool.
Yeah.
But then once you get up inside of it, it seems really tiny.
Yeah.
Because like in the Filmation cartoons and I think in the 2000X series, that snakehead is really big and that opening is huge. And most of the time, it's got like lava coming out of it. This case, they had the tongue there, so they could do some of those scenes on there. But then this giant ass snakehead, if you start comparing it, then the tongue is only like maybe 20 feet wide, and so that makes that snakehead like the size of probably smaller than the theater we just saw it in. You know?
Yeah.
So I want a more massive
scale.
Snake Mountain.
Yeah, they needed to scale it better.
I mean, I know they did it specifically so they could do the scenes out on the tongue.
Yeah.
Since that was a platform in this case, but it was still kind of sad.
Yeah. Yeah, they could have done better with that. No, I still really enjoyed the fight scenes, though.
Yeah, the fights were well done overall.
Okay, I don't remember all of the characters' names, and I don't remember all of the bad guys that well, but, like, the spiky dude?
Spikor.
Yeah, Spikor? Okay. I thought that was his name, but I'm like, maybe it's not?
Nope.
No, okay, Spikor. I liked how they utilized him in the fights, where they were, like, getting him stuck in the walls and stuff, and people were getting stuck on his spikes.
Oh, yeah, that scene where, like, one of the bad guy, He-Man throws one of the bad guys into Spikor's back, he gets stuck, punches the bad guy, spins him around, punches Spikor, spins him around, punches again.
I liked that. That was so fun.
And then at the end, when Spikor's just hanging from the ceiling from his back.
Yeah, he's getting stuck.
See, this is the thing. Like, I mentioned the guy who was in that last set of fight scenes like that, or the Snake Mountain fight scene.
Yeah.
From the first movie. I cannot for the life of me remember his name at all. Because he's a movie character.
Yeah.
And I remember the old animated characters better to do those, and some of the classics, and he never got made in classics, so that's why I don't remember.
I don't remember because I don't think I've ever seen the whole of 80s.
We actually did watch together.
We did?
Yeah, with M, because you remember that movie ended with Skeletor coming out of the water going, "I'll be back."
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Which I wish they would have referenced that at the end of this one too, like when.
Oh yeah, they had the opportunity to too.
Yeah, they had the greatest opportunity.
That was a miss.
Yeah, because they referenced the whole Good Journey thing that they did in that movie with Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
Which I was surprised when I saw. Like, I know he's been going around with them for the promotional stuff.
Yeah.
But I honestly thought it was just they invited him for the nostalgia thing. I did not realize he was actually in this movie.
I kind of expected they would. I'm like, that would have been like criminal to not have given him at least a cameo appearance.
True.
I'm like, I like that he actually gave, like, I mean, it was convoluted and kind of silly sounding advice, but I get the gist of what they're going for with it, and like, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah. I do kind of also appreciate, because they have that jail scene, and because you sat there and you asked me, why don't they just ram the bars?
Yeah.
And then, like, within 2 minutes, they actually explain, that they can't break down the bars. And then Adam thinks outside the box, goes, what about the stone?
Yeah, because I was about to say that, well, the stone's not made of that, is it? And then he said it for me, so I'm like, oh, okay.
Sometimes you need somebody to think out of the box.
Yeah.
But
yeah. No, like when they started portraying Adam as an actual person instead of a cringy idiot with zero social skills, I really liked the character.
Yeah, it was a shame though, because the movie more or less starts with a dating scene.
Yeah.
And the girl goes away because he's crazy. That's what what you were referencing earlier.
Yeah.
With the whole telling people your backstory. But then when he's in the comic shop and he steals the sword, and then the chick who was behind the counter was telling him, you can't do that. As he's leaving,
are you single?
You found the one woman on Earth who might actually go ahead and date him and be fine with the story.
Yeah.
But again, like I said at the beginning of this whole thing, I really do wish that that they had put in there somewhere. Could have been in the credits too, just showing that scene where Adam from the cell phone, just show it from the cell phone on a screen with the computer with like that irritating boss of his and the girl from the comic shop and stuff like that. Just showing them seeing him getting on that thing and it taking off,
Instead, they kidnapped his roommate and dragged him to Eternia.
Yeah. I didn't like his roommate. He was annoying too.
Yeah. Like, and I would have been fine with an annoying roommate if that was the only part of that was annoying. Because, I could understand, like, a roommate being like, okay, yeah, you've told me the story. I think you're kind of nuts, but whatever, you pay the rent. That's fine. Like, somebody you've known for a while, but you're not going to tell somebody on the first date that you're from another planet.
No.
Especially if you've been on Earth for 15 years, you should know better by then.
Although I do think it was funny, like, because there's when he's getting beat up by Skeletor and they have him doing like weird memory flashes, kind of like when Skeletor's his head a bit, and his roommate, and he's like he says, "I'm dead," and the roommate's like, "Oh, that's convenient. Just before rent's due."
Yeah. Oh, any other thoughts?
Not at the moment. No, I think I'm pretty good. Anything else from you?
I wish Cringer had been.
I wish Cringer was smaller.
I wish they had shown the Battle Cat transformation too.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Like, he's in the armor later.
Yeah.
I'm like, but it's like at the very end when they're just like, okay, it's the tie-up.
Actually, I was surprised they didn't show him giving Cringer the power when he transformed that last time.
Yeah.
In the battle.
Yeah, they had Cringer fighting as Cringer.
Yeah.
Instead of having him fighting as Battle Cat.
And he was too big.
Yeah. And I wish they had made him a little bit smaller, and I wish he had gotten to do the transformation into Battle Cat when he fought.
Yeah, I do too.
But yeah, and like it wasn't the movie I was afraid it was going to be, and I definitely enjoyed it a lot more than I was afraid I would.
Yeah, it was definitely better than I was expecting, which may be part of the problem. But like from the scenes, I had low expectations.
Yeah.
I had low expectations when I heard about it, especially through Amazon. My expectation rose with the trailers and just kind of sat there, and it didn't go up or down.
Yeah, they announced a live action He-Man movie, and I went, oh no, this is gonna be awful. And then I saw a trailer, I'm like, oh, it actually might not be too bad. And then like the director and the actress were opening their mouths and saying stupid stuff, and like my expectations dropped significantly. But it was not as bad like they made it out to be. I don't feel like it was tearing down masculinity, and I don't feel like it was putting too much girl boss shit.
Yeah.
So it's just
I mean, there were definitely some bashing of masculinity here and there.
Yeah,
but it wasn't like the big
yeah.
mass that I was expecting.
I really liked the conversation between him and Duncan about, what it meant to be a man. I just wish the writers believed it.
Yeah. You're talking about protecting...
Yeah, it's not about going out there to kill the bad guy. It's about fighting to protect the ones you love.
Yeah, that was a very good moment. And that's like the only thing that I gotta say, that's the only time Man-at-Arms felt like the Man-at-Arms from the Filmation cartoon either.
Yeah, also. I love this. I wish he was like this for the rest of the movie. I mean, like, he kind of was a little bit in the very beginning with Little Kid when he was like, stand strong, get back up.
Yeah. Show your dad you're a man when he turns around.
Yeah.
Turn around any moment now.
Yeah, and then because they made Randor an asshole, he doesn't turn around. A nice heartfelt moment between him and Randor as a child, before he was sent her.
Yeah, like that's part of the problem. There wasn't enough interaction on Eternia. It was all just whatever.
Not a bad movie. Could have been better, but not bad at all.
Could have been better. It was worth the money to go see it. I saw it twice, and I'm not upset. I saw IMAX the first time, and then standard digital here. I'm not going to get into the whole thing. Okay, I am going to get into the whole thing with the cups and the castle. Apparently, so my sister goes to the movies all the time because she's got that membership that lets her do like the 4 movies a week, and she uses it every week. So she's well known at the theater, right? When she was at the theater, I think it was, she asked them if they had some, and they said, yeah, we got some of those in. We're not supposed to say anything. And then when she called Thursday to see if they had them, and she wanted to find, I think she probably would have found out the exact pricing at that time, but they were already sold out, and apparently they only got 8 of the Sword Cup and Castle Grayskull pop. That is ridiculous. These are 2 items that were advertised for like 2 months before this movie. I didn't even see like Skeletor's throne room bucket or the Battle Cat bucket either. They weren't even advertised for the theater we went to. I did order them from Royal Theater because they had a pre-order, and those I think are supposed to ship this weekend or probably today. So I will get those. But that sword and the Castle Grayskull popcorn bucket were the ones I really wanted, and that's just bullshit that they only sent like 8 to the theaters locally. And my sister called our 2 local theaters and one of the neighboring cities, and nothing. And then you look online, and people are selling that sword cup for like $110 plus like $15 shipping, and they have more than 10 available. That's just up. Like, and I would just want to know, like, I know other movie popcorn buckets and stuff have gone up ridiculous and sold out and stuff, but nobody expected Masters of the Universe to do well, so who the hell was buying all this shit and to resell? So I'm gonna hope
scalpers who know their audience.
If the same people bought all the classics toys and resold them.
Yeah.
So whoever has bought those to sell on eBay, I hope you end up losing on nobody buys from, and that you have to sell them at a discount, less money than you made. That's because you're a fucking group of assholes. And I don't want to sound like I'm entitled when I say that it pisses me off that they all sold out, but the fact that they only got 8 in, that pisses me off. Like, if I had missed out, if they'd gotten 50 or 100, I've said this before, I would be upset that I missed them, but I wouldn't be pissed off that I missed them because it just meant I literally should have just gone earlier.
You didn't even have a chance with
Yeah.
8. And a lot of people didn't have a chance with just...
Yeah, so we've been talking for quite a while now, so I think that's it.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
Yeah, I think I got all my thoughts out.
Okay, so just to summarize, it's a good movie. Go see it. You'll probably enjoy it. I'd like to thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed listening to this, maybe we'll try doing more of these in the future, but we don't really go to the theaters very often, to be honest with you. But, please feel free to subscribe. Maybe you want to, hit that notification bell. Again, I thank you for watching. Peace and love.